just to be able to play our rival.
It's what the Longhorn fans want and the Aggie fans want.
We're hungry to compete.
We are going to work every game.
Those are the games you want to be in. Those are the games you want to play in.
We're all excited to have that competition.
College athletics is about rivalries. It's what makes college special.
Well, this match has been sold out for weeks, as you can plainly see. It has arrived as we welcome you to Texas Volleyball, presented by Wells Fargo for the Lone Star Showdown. Reason it's sold out, it's a rivalry match. It's Texas versus Texas A&M, the Longhorns versus the Aggies for the 93rd time. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Paul Sunderland, joined once again by my partner who's very familiar with this rivalry, Salima Rockwell. We're going to talk a lot about this match, but before we get to that, a not-so-funny thing happened on Wednesday night if you're a Longhorn fan. Number 3 Texas went down to Houston and was upset, a stunning loss at the hands of Rice. How do the Longhorns bounce back? Because Big 12 plays right around the corner.
That's right. And, you know, you think about that match and what Coach Elliott is telling his team, hey, we have to remember that everyone's going to bring their A game. Every night, every time we play, we have to be prepared for people to bring it. And what Texas is going to need to do tonight is to lean on the leadership and experience of Micaiah White. She started up the season slow, and she started heating up. She hit 189 in her first few matches, and now she's at 365 in her last 4 matches. Expect them to use her tonight to win this match.
Texas A&M, they were picked to finish 6th in the SEC. They're 8-1 and have some quality wins, so they're playing at a very high level. What can Texas do to slow down their outside hitting star in Holland Hands?
This is a fantastic outside hitter that has proven that she can play with the best teams in the country. She was an All-American last year, All-Region player, and they really just need to put the block in the right spot at the right times and play some good defense around her, because she can score when they get her the ball. So far on the year, and there's good reason for it, blocking has not been a real strength for Texas as we now take a look at tonight's Impact Players presented by the 2020 Mizuno Lone Star Classic. And what's fun, we're going to talk about Liberos and the Impact Players this evening. Sydney Peterson has been steady all year long. Just had her season-high digs, 25 digs against Rice, and was a Defensive Player of the Week. Camila Gomez for A&M is going to try and do what Rice did defensively against Texas, and that's frustrating them with her fantastic defensive plays as well. So the Aggies come in with a new head coach in her 2nd season, Laura Bird-Kuhn, taking over for the Hall of Famer. And in her first season, 17-13, 10-8, and a tie for 5th place. That Hall of Famer would be Lori Corbelli. And there's Jared Elliott now in his 19th year and has had a remarkable run here at the University of Texas, a 2012 NCAA champion, and now among active coaches has the 5th best winning percentage. This place is rocking. There's been a lot of anticipation for this match. Texas in their home white uniforms. Mentioned that blocking has not been up to the standard of Texas. Only 2 stuff blocks per set so far. They were at 2.6 last year, but a pretty good look here for Molly Phillips along with Logan Eggleston on the opening point. Best 3 out of 5 sets. First 4 sets to 25 points. Must win by 2. 5th set if necessary will be the tiebreaker to 15. First swing by Hands is able to tuck that down inside. Holland Hands wearing number 9 in black. 6'1" senior out of Corpus Christi, an honorable mention All-American last year, and led the entire SEC in scoring. Her point production is down a little bit this year, but that's probably a good thing. She's got better players around her. It is a good thing.
What a serve. That is the 138th ace during the career of Holland Hands. She is currently 4th all-time in that category for the Aggies.
I was not expecting this ball to come off her hand that way.
You jumped.
Wow, I did actually. She hit that ball with some space and a little bit of side spin on that. See if she can do that again.
Creates the overpass. That ball misplayed on the outside. Should have been an easy opportunity for A&M. Eggleston off the top of the block and down. Number 33, the 6'2 sophomore outside hitter out of Brentwood, Tennessee, averaging 4.3 kills per set. Eggleston was good last year and much improved this year so far. Texas at 5-2. Lost at Stanford. Wow, that ball cracked right down the line by 6'4" freshman out of Orlando, Lauren Davis, who had 17 kills in the Aggies' most recent 3-2 win over Oklahoma. Here is Gomez out of Cali, Colombia, and already a couple of aces for the Aggies.
Definitely looks like they're trying to find the seams, who's responsible for what seam right now, and who's going to take what ball. Definitely a little bit of miscommunication there.
And Phillips is blocked. Good work out of the middle by number 10, McKenna Patterson, with some help from Davis. And this is a really good start for the visiting Aggies. Gomez will continue to serve. The 5'2 senior out of Cali, Colombia, plays for the Colombian national team and was really solid at the recent Pan American Games. And Micaiah White wearing that now very familiar number 1, tipping over the top and down.
This is what we talked about a little bit earlier in the open. Micaiah White's going to have a good match tonight. Be smart with what she's doing. Smart with her shots, and I love that tip from a high contact point.
How do you account for the rise in her percentage? Through the first 3 matches, she hit 189, 365 over the last 4. And okay, who did they play? Well, they played Stanford, they played BYU. This has been against good opponents.
They did indeed. I tell you, she just looks more confident right now. I think she was just warming up in the beginning of the season, trying to figure out her game and her leadership. She looks good and poised and confident right now.
Nice play by the setter, number 18, Camille Connor, the 6'1 junior out of Katy, Texas, who is a very offensive-minded setter. Took 15 swings in A&M's win at Pepperdine.
I think we're going to see quite a few of those, and she likes to move the ball around in every different spot on the court, so it's going to be fun to watch her throw the ball around tonight.
Coach Kuhn telling us that Camille Connor much improved as a setter. Not only her technical location, but also the decision she's making. Nice swing by hands out of the back row. And that's going to be a net violation. Texas A&M was all over that tip from White, but nullified by the violation.
Those are some of the most frustrating plays. It's an easy ball given to you by the opponent, and you just catch yourself in the net. I want to do a good job of just being patient and not overplaying the ball right now, and being too aggressive at the net.
Garrett Elliott having a pretty animated conversation with the second referee, maybe about looking A&M out of rotation. Lauren Davis is a pretty impressive stick on the left side. Again, just a freshman at 6'4", playing out on the left, back-to-back state championships in the Sunshine State. Taylor Voss, 5'5 sophomore out of Corpus Christi, defensive specialist, seeing her for the first time on to serve. And O'Neal, Asia O'Neal, number 7 in white, the redshirt freshman, off to a spectacular start offensively, hitting 500.
This timing is perfect. I think Gabriel did a great job of just firing that ball back to her. Pace was good, timing was good, and that ball is difficult to defend.
And that ball just out of bounds, missed over the sideline by White. Serving has been an adventure during the course of her very strong 4-year career.
It has, but you know, I do like the fact that she's staying with that jump topspin, working to get some points at the end line.
Nice dig by Voss. Chance in transition over the top. Eggleston tracks that down, but Holland Hands is off to a very nice start so far for A&M.
You know what I love about this defense with A&M? They were in the exact spot where Logan hit the ball. It's an excellent job scouting Texas and shifting their defense slightly down the line when Logan's inside the court a little bit, hitting it down the line.
It's a physical A&M team. Patterson back to serve. 6'3", playing out of the middle, the reigning SEC Defensive Player of the Week. Back to Eggleston again, and another block, this time by Triana Rush, 6'1" freshman out of Texarkana wearing number 14 in black, and a timeout called by Texas. If you're Texas A&M in this Lone Star Showdown, you could not ask for a better start in front of this packed Gregory Gym.
Work.
Texas A&M with the early lead, and talking about opponent hitting percentage, that is year in, year out, match in, match out. One of the most important factors, and Texas is nowhere near where they hope to be. Opponents hitting .219, and of course a big reason for that is the absence still of Breon Butler for the 8th straight match, out with a foot injury, or let me call it a lower leg injury. And Breon came out with her teammates, had a very, very nice visit with this All-American middle blocker, and no question Texas misses her. Didn't ask her anything specifically about the injury, but she said she's feeling much better, and good news for Texas fans, hopes to be back in the lineup soon.
Excellent news for Texas fans.
Mallory Talbert, 6'3" sophomore out of Montgomery, Texas, able to turn that ball cross-body. You look at the starting lineup for Texas A&M. 6'3", 6'4", 6'4", 6'3". This is a lineup that can match up eye to eye, toe to toe, if you will, with the Longhorns.
They can.
They've shown that already, leading 11-6. Nice looking offensive play, and Logan Eggleston, number 33 in white, comes right back with the kill.
Elevated a little bit higher on that one. She's like, you know what, I'm going over the top, and I'm not gonna let this get dug. Hit that ball in front of the defender that was again in the right spot, but she was able to overpower both of them.
Nice block out of the middle, and a good read by Molly Phillips, the 6'5" freshman out of Mansfield, Texas.
And we talk about Butler, and it'll be exciting when she comes back, but the freshmen have done a fantastic job this season so far. They've really have been steady and balanced. They just need to get better at reading the game, and that's what you saw there from Molly.
Overrun a little bit by Peterson, and Holland Hands takes advantage. You've trained a lot of good young middle blockers throughout the course of your career. Is that the most difficult position to transition to from high school to college?
Without a doubt. It's just so fast. The game is a different speed when you change from high school to college. And you have to read. You have to read everything. And these are perfect passes, setters that are deceptive. That's the thing you don't see when you're young. Deceptive setters.
Hands once again. That is a dangerous hybrid serve. Free ball opportunity to go to Sanders. Combination play. Hands out of the backcourt. Holland Hands, everything as advertised. Came in with 1,440 points, 11th in kills, 4th in aces, 6th in points, and off to a really solid start, as is A&M. Salima leading at 13-8. Done her damage. She has got the attention of the University of Texas.
Lucky to get out of that rotation. Logan's had some success herself serving the ball tougher. We talked about this hybrid serve that she's working on. It's similar to what we just saw.
And that ball missed just out of bounds. Talk about hybrid serve, somewhere between a full-on jump serve and the jump float. What are you trying to accomplish with that particular technique?
Well, you're trying to get pace on the ball, so you're trying to serve the ball hard, but it doesn't necessarily just float. It has a little bit of a spin, slight rotation on it, so then it drops and it takes some weird angles on the ball.
Texas scrambling a little bit. Micaiah White tucks it down the line nicely. White, after a slow start, again 189 in 3 matches, 365 in the last 4, now averaging 4.1 kills per set, and also doing a good job at the defensive end. Had a double-double in the loss at Rice. 16 kills, 14 digs on Wednesday night. Nice read, Micaiah White. Good-looking combination play for Patterson, along with Connors, but Micaiah White all over that.
This is what Texas did a fantastic job of. The middle blocker is responsible for the setter in the 2-hitter rotations, and the left side blocker is responsible for the slide hitter. They executed that perfectly.
And Micaiah White saw that when she came out as a freshman. Remember, now she's a redshirt senior, missed her first year with a foot injury. First time I saw her make a blocking move, I went, oh, wow. I mean, she was stunningly good, even as a freshman, as a blocker.
Had a great feel for blocking.
There's Connor. And Eggleston unable to keep that ball alive. And when we spoke with Laura, yes, it is Bird. She prefers to be called Bird Kuhn. That has been her nickname all her life. She had bird legs as a child, and her father, who she's always been very, very close to, just called her Bird. She was telling us earlier today when I played at Georgia Tech, somebody came in looking for Laura, and nobody in the gym knew who the heck they were talking about. But the point I was going to make is she told us earlier today at their serve and pass that they were really going to go after number 1, that's White, and number 33, that's Eggleston, and it's been playing out so far.
You know, and these coaches have tons of stats. Even at this juncture in the year, they know what they're passing. They know what they're passing in every rotation. So they're going to target what they think is the most successful, going to have the most success.
Yeah, Jared Elliott has been working along the sideline, talking to the second referee, and he noticed right away that there was an overlap. Now, this is a little bit like being offsides in football, if you will. If you got to be lined up just right when the ball is served. And so Bird Kuhn having that explained to her. Said, how's Coach Elliott see it from all the way over there?
He's looking for it. He's, you know, you look for it.
Well, you see it on video.
You do. You see it on video.
Nice pass by Hands. And Micaiah White over the top. Nice swing by number 1 in White. And now Texas back within 2 after trailing early.
This is a nice heads-up play. Setter just set the ball over the net, and both back row players were available and ready for that. But they could transition and score, and that's what they need to do. And this is the overlap that they were looking for. What you'll see is number 14 run all the way across the court to hit on the right side. If she leaves early, that's when they call that for an overlap or out of rotation. That's what she did last time.
That is a really good high flat swing by Micaiah White off the middle blocker. I asked you earlier, and we'll reiterate it again, we kind of got off the point, but how do you explain, because it's been against even better competition, Micaiah White really finding her groove over the last 4 matches.
And sometimes it just takes a while to get in your rhythm, to find your space. This is a returning team. You know, they have a lot of returning players, but it's still a new team. Playing next to the same people, different people, next to different blockers. It takes a minute.
Early on, Holland Hands off to a very, very good start. Texas with some service errors early, but that's nothing new. They average 3 service errors so far on the year per set, according to some very special notes I get each and every match here at Texas. Timeout is called. Texas on a 5-0 run to even this match. Opening set at 16 apiece after A&M led at 10-5. There you see the series history, 19 of the last 20. And for Texas A&M under Lori Corbelli, they won the SEC a couple of years ago. And what would happen in the tournament invariably, and you were here for some of it, Texas A&M would have a really solid season, and they would send them, of course, from College Station, what is it, about 75 miles up the road to play in Austin. And so one year when Coach Corbelli led Texas A&M to the SEC championship, and they were able to host, they sent them to the University of Hawaii.
How does that work?
I don't know. I don't know. But
there's always something every year.
Yeah, it is. Tied at 16. 5-0 run for Jared Elliott and the Texas Longhorns.
So now A&M has stacked their hitters, so everyone's on the left side of the court. See if they can get a swing on the left side.
Tell us why they're doing that.
It's tough when you have a lefty hitter on the left side of the court. Sometimes it's hard if you're not passing well to score on the outside. So they allow her to come hit on the right side and their outside hitter to hit on the left side of it.
Well, you saw that when you did Nebraska and Stanford. They have a player comes in for Nebraska. She only plays in rotation number 1.
That's it.
And then as soon as she
Decide
leaves,
out.
Jazz Sweet comes back in. But, you know, you've got 15 subs. So go ahead. Tied at 17. White, who missed her first time through the service line. Gregory Gym is packed to the rafters. Perfect pass by Voss. Dug nicely into that court. That might be by Mikhail White, but Texas unable to follow up.
And this is what we talked about earlier. A&M can be in system, pass the ball well. They can get their hitters some opportunities to score. Have Texas middle blockers a little bit late, and that's what we saw Wednesday night as well.
Patterson working on the front court attack. Oh, Patterson's got to make that play defensively. Middle blocker number 10 for A&M was not ready for that soft cross-court shot.
Smart shot. You want to hit at the middle blocker when they come in and play defense. It was an easy roll shot that she was just too far inside the court for and did lay out for.
You want to pull off the upset, you can't miss plays like that.
That is exactly right.
Here's Asia O'Neal, already 10 aces on the year. I like her jump float. And you gotta love Holland hands.
Man, she has a whip of an arm. That ball's coming off her hand fast. And I think they like this matchup right here with her over Gabriel, where she can hit some line, seam, and actually she had a lot of court to work with. Molly was kind of hanging out. Molly Phillips was waiting for the middle. A lot of court to work with.
Eggleston, net ball out of bounds. Nice play by Carly Basham, the 5'8" freshman out of Louisville, Kentucky, coming on to serve. Fourth ace right now for Texas A&M.
Serving them tough. That's what they wanted to do. That's what Coach Kuhn said they wanted to do.
That's a nice look there. Good eye by Claire Hahn. That ball drifts just over the end line as Jenna Gabriel will go back to serve, 5'8" sophomore out of Honolulu. Eggleston through the block and down, tied once again.
It's a nice dig by Gabriel, allowing Peterson to set this out of system ball. It's nice. Logan takes a nice healthy swing, and the A&M blocker's just not completely pressed over the net, and that's why she snuck it through.
And that ball will drift over the end line. Fourth service error of the opening set. Make it 5 service errors for Texas. That is a lot of free points to the opponent. It's a fine line, isn't it, Salima, between serving tough. If you got to get the other team out of system, which you're always trying to do, you have to be able to, you have to be willing to put up with some errors.
You do, and it's after 20, that's a tough thing, man, when you're missing serves this late in the game.
Ace serve again. Holland hands with her second ace serve. And Texas A&M on top 22-20, and Texas will call a timeout. That thing is nasty.
I have seen a lot of volleyball this season, and I don't know if I've seen a serve quite like this. It's got pace, it's got heat, it's got side spin, and it's hard to track. They're having a hard time tracking this ball. And this is an excellent timeout. See if they can cool her off a little bit.
Holland hands already with 8 total points, 6 of 9 in terms of attacking. And with a couple of aces, she needed 17 points to overtake Jasmine Babers as the all-time leading scorer in the rally scoring era. So I think she's going to get there.
I think you're right.
She's halfway there.
I think you're right.
And it's still in the first set. A&M has been impressive. You know, last year they played 12 5-set matches. They were 4-8 in those matches. They lost to Kentucky, an NCAA tournament team. They lost to Tennessee, tournament team. They lost to Florida and Missouri, all in 5 sets.
Those are heartbreakers, but those are also where you learn the most about your team.
A&M with an 8-1 record. Their only loss was at Louisville, now ranked number 25, and Texas A&M was up 2-0. They have wins over a solid team in the Dayton Flyers, out at Pepperdine and recently over Oklahoma. So this is an A&M team that is playing beyond what people projected. Again, they were picked to finish 6th in the SEC. This doesn't look like a 6th-place team in the SEC.
It really doesn't.
Good pass by White. Gomez right on target. Tip up through the block, and that's going to be a net violation called against Phillips for the Texas Longhorns. Good point by both teams, as Skylar Fields, who's been pretty quiet so far, now in rotation number 1 out on the left side. Yeah, there is the net violation. Phillips, number 15, just trying to scoop that ball out of the net. Dug by hands and too tight. Good challenge by Connor. And then Fields down the line, kept alive by Gomez.
Wow.
Sanders into the antenna and out of bounds.
Some unbelievable defensive plays. Started the earlier rally. This one, everyone thought was down. It's a little stab by the center, and they just keep that, or by number 3, they just keep it alive. Gomez just lays out for it, man.
This is the kind of pressure that Rice put on Texas, especially in the first couple of sets on Wednesday night, leading to that upset. Sanders, who's been so far, blocked out of the middle by Phillips. 23-22.
This is where they like to run this little play. A&M likes to run this play where they run inside the court a little bit. And Texas block was there, lined up perfectly. This is where they need to stay patient. If A&M is digging a lot of balls, they need to stay patient and stay with their game plan.
That ball set way too tight. Up into the block, restart the point. White is out of the play. No hitter out on the left side. Connection not there in the middle. A crucial error. Connor going to Mallory Talbert, number 12 in the middle. And coming up empty, and we're tied at 23. You think the players can hear Eric Sullivan?
It's hard. I've been in gyms like this. It is hard to hear.
Yeah, what a great atmosphere. And this has been one of the most compelling non-conference seasons, if you will, setting that apart from conference play, that I've seen in many, many years, because so many of the top teams like Texas, like Minnesota, like Wisconsin, like Nebraska, like Stanford and Penn State, they're all playing one another. It has been really, really compelling stuff, and there have been wonderful crowds all over the country. And you saw that in Lincoln the other day when Nebraska set a new record in the Devaney Center.
Lincoln was packed. It was jam-packed. But man, I look around here, and it is, like you said earlier, literally up in the rafters. There's not an empty seat in this house. And Texas loves their volleyball. Texas fans, they have a great student section, fantastic band. They have so many excited people in this gym. It's a fun atmosphere and a tough place to play.
Well, you know, there was that old saying, if you build it, they will come. But I disagree with that. If you win, they will come.
That's it.
And Texas said Jared Elliott and Mick Haley before him have been winning for a long time.
They know how to win.
Tied at 23. Sanders is able to somehow find the floor on an off play. What a nice roll shot. Excuse me, that's Lauren Davis out on the out on the left side.
That's big for them. They're not really known for being a great out-of-system team. They're very good in system, but man, that was a fantastic play.
Fields over the top and down, and if I'm not mistaken, that's her first kill. Yep.
She's been pretty quiet. If they can get the ball to her and she hits high over the block in that deep part of the court, she's going to score. They're pretty shallow, just ready for the hard-driven balls, so she can go deep there.
Good shot up into the block once again, like an offensive rebound, restart the point. Fields again. And that ball is going to be out of bounds. Both teams understanding how vitally important this opening set is, and Texas now up 25-24 with a set point.
And they are both scrambling on defense, doing everything they can to keep the ball alive.
Remember, Texas trailed 10-5. Tied at 16, then A&M went out to a couple of point lead. Tough serve again. And Hands missed it out of bounds. Texas comes all the way back in a real battle. In the Lone Star Showdown, Texas A&M got out to a quick and very solid start, only to see the Longhorns come storming back and win it 26-24.
This Texas Volleyball on Longhorn Network is presented by Wells Fargo. This is a commitment to better banking. This is Wells Fargo. And in part by the Mizuno Lone Star Classic, the largest USA Volleyball Girls National Qualifier, April 2020 in Dallas, Texas.
Welcome back once again to a sold-out Gregory Gymnasium. Texas taking on Texas A&M. The Longhorns and the Aggies. Match summary, Micaiah White continues her very solid play. 6 kills, okay. No errors on 8 swings. I mean, that was really a huge part of their comeback late in that opening set. With Salima Rockwell, I'm Paul Sunderland. Texas A&M got out to a 10-5, 16-11 lead, but then Texas really got hot at the offensive end. Outscored A&M 15-8 to take the opening set, 26-24.
And these are the matches they need, just like we talked about coming off of the loss at Rice. How do you get better? How do you come back from those? You're resilient. You're tough. You said when they dig balls, we're not going to get frustrated. We're going to stay the course. And that's what Texas did tonight. So I think that first set was a reflection of that. How are they going to be patient? How are they going to get better? I think they did a nice job.
Holland Hands, who lit up Texas in the opening set. She had 6 kills along with 3 aces. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Put her out there to serve first. Give her an extra turn. Ball passed a little bit tight, and Molly Phillips was able to use her 6'5" frame and put down the opening point. Thanks for joining us here on Longhorn Network for college volleyball. Couple very important matches going on. Pittsburgh, one of 9 still undefeated teams. Baylor and Missouri also undefeated. Baylor leads Missouri. Is that 2 sets to none? And Pittsburgh on top of your former employer, the Nittany Lions, where you had a magnificent career as a setter, not so very long ago. Or was it a long time ago?
It was just a little bit ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't talk about it.
Some numbers from the opening set. We talked about Micaiah White with 6 kills on 8 swings. Logan Eggleston had 5 kills. Texas hit 440 in the opening set. What a nice save that time by Jenna Gabriel, who needed to climb the ladder because she's only 5'8".
And I tell you, she did that in the last play too when Molly Phillips had her kill. She is reaching on this one on a tight pass, and that creates a one-on-one opportunity for Asia O'Neal.
Texas A&M ended up hitting only 114 in that opening set, thanks to 8 hitting errors. And Texas continues to struggle a little bit from the service line. The errors starting to pile up a little bit. They had 5 in the opening set. That's their first here in the second. 5 is way too many, is it not, Salima?
5 is way too many.
There is Connor. Asia O'Neal on the slide. The redshirt freshman out of South Lake, Texas, averaging 1.6 kills per set, but again, hitting an unbelievable efficiency at now over 500.
Texas, when they can pass the ball and they can run the middle, they can beat anybody.
Nice roll shot off the outside. Lauren Davis, who's gotten off to a very nice start. The 6'4" freshman, again out of Florida, rolling that ball over the top.
I think part of A&M's strategy is let's work the left side hitters, get them on the floor a little bit, get them out of the play, clog some things up there so they can't really run their offense.
So she had a very productive match against Oklahoma recently, as did Hands, who had 29 kills in that particular match. Nice dig by Voss. Makaya White out of the backcourt, dug by Gomez. First look for Patterson, who's been very, very quiet so far. Outstanding middle blocker wearing number 10 in black. A&M is in some good spots defensively, and they know where they want to go to score.
Man, they do. But what I like about what A&M's doing, they're controlling the ball. They're not just making great digs. The quality of the touches are good. They're digging the ball so they're able to run plays in transition. Led by Gomez in that very first dig off Logan.
Eggleston turns it down the line and misses it wide. So very good and solid serving strategy for Texas A&M, going after Eggleston and Makaya White, particularly when they're hitting in the front court. Now Eggleston's been moved out of the serve reception.
So they're forced to get her out of there and shift the pattern over, so now they're going to serve Makaya White.
Look at Gomez. What else have you got? And then Holland Hands again. Hands now with 9 kills on 15 swings has been spectacular.
I'm telling you, Gomez is just in the right spot, reading the play well, digging that ball high in the middle of the court so they can transition.
Quick 4-0 run for Voss and A&M. Linesman called that ball down. Remember, this can be reviewed. It was added to the list of plays that can be reviewed. Remember, you have 3 challenges. You get an additional challenge if the match goes 4 sets. And right now, Bird Kuhn asking her player, did you get that ball up? So we're going to challenge that ball up or down. You can challenge in or out, center line, foot fault on the serve, foot fault on the 3-meter line, touch off the block, net violation, and now we're going to challenge ball up or down. Let's take another look.
The player was pretty adamant that she got it. Let's see if we can see that in the...
And in the left-hand corner, you can see the lines person is equally adamant.
He called it pretty quickly.
Hard to tell on that. And once again, it has to be 100% definitive to overrule the call on the floor. This will be a better angle. Close.
That looks,
it's close. It's worth a challenge and worth a review. Any part of the ball on the floor, it can be in contact with your hand, but if any part of that volleyball touches the floor, that looks like a good pancake to me.
Looks like a good one to me as well.
And if it is, the point will be replayed.
And this is where the coaches count on their players to say, hey, are you sure? I don't want to waste this challenge. You got it, without a doubt. And they have to say, yep, coach, I got it, or no, leave it alone. So we'll see. We'll see what the ref sees.
Replay. Yeah, replay. That's a good use of the challenge. And Texas A&M continues to lead it 6-3. So 2 challenges left for Texas A&M. Jared Elliott and the Longhorns have yet to challenge a call. Voss will continue to serve.
So they continue to go after White here since Eggleston is out of the passing pattern.
Eggleston, high flat shot. And speaking of flying, Gomez, number 13, the libero for A&M, flying after that, but couldn't track it down.
I love that. She's playing left back, folks, but she was in the middle back of the court flying. I'm reading that play high off the block, but that's a fantastic swing by Logan Eggleston.
Plays for the Colombian national team and was voted the best libero at the most recently concluded Pan American Games. Pretty impressive. Here comes O'Neal and misses that. So that is 7 service errors. You know, and look, we talk about errors, we talk about aces, but that's far from the whole story.
It is, and there's so much. You want to force a team out of system. You want to see what are they actually passing when we serve the ball over the net. So do we take chances? How hard do we actually force this? Is A&M one of the best passing teams? That's what they have to decide. And if the answer is no, you just need to keep the ball in play. You need to serve the ball tough and trust your defense.
What a play defensively and then in transition by number 9. She has had a wonderful career for Texas A&M, but against a highly regarded, highly ranked opponent like Texas, she is off to a really solid start. And this serving strategy is really working. Texas is off the net and out of system virtually time after time.
It is working, and Gabriel tried to force that back row ball to White right after she passed, and that was a tough play for them.
We'll step aside here at Gregory Gym. Texas trailing Texas A&M 9-4.
Work on 3.
The Aggies on top of the Longhorns 9-4 here in the second set. Texas came back from a 10-5 and 16-11 deficit, but they are rolling the dice once again, and A&M, their serving strategy has been working to perfection so far. Texas comes out, changes their rotation a little bit. Eggleston, a little frustration, a little extra heat. Gets the side out score as Gabriel will go back to serve.
And that's what happens when they're still working on their game plan and they miss. They get the ball on Peterson. She passes the ball perfectly. This is exactly why they want to serve other passers right now.
Eggleston with her 7th kill on 16 swings. That ball might have been going out of bounds. Gomez, pretty good pass, and Gabriel all over the tip. Fields with a kill into the cross court, number 5 in White.
It's a smart swing. The ball was out of system, so she didn't just blast as hard as she could. She just chopped that ball sharp cross court at the setter. It was in a little bit bad position. Forced that ball into the crowd.
Skylar Fields, 6'2" freshman out of Missouri City, Texas, the #1 recruit coming out of high school last year. And yet another service error. That is number 8 for Gabriel and the Longhorns. What a difference when Peterson is passing as opposed to Eggleston or White.
Again, that's certainly not intentional. They're targeting the outsides and missing. Peterson passes that ball, perfect pass. They could run their offense with a beautiful swing by Molly Phillips.
Gomez right back at you. A really good play by number 13, the libero wearing the white jersey for A&M. Stepping in front of the teammate saying, get out of here, that's my job.
I love watching those liberos that just want to play every ball on the court. It's like, leave me alone. You guys move over. I got it.
Dangerous server and hands back at the line. A&M leading 11-7. Tight free ball pass. What a good read by White and Phillips, working against the left-handed setter Connor.
Smart play by White. Pass was a little bit tight. It was coming over the net. She saw her left hand go up early, and she pressed over, was able to get that ball. Smart.
That was a big play.
It was a big play.
You have hands at the service line. Continue serving, maybe continue some point scoring. His hands misses that one out of bounds. That block by Micaiah White, along with Phillips against the setter for Texas A&M, was a huge play in this match, let alone in this set.
I would agree with you there. Big rotation for them.
If Connor puts that ball to the line down, you've got Hands still back at the line. Good block again. Micaiah White showing her blocking prowess that time against Talbot. The middles for A&M have been very, very quiet, and particularly McKenna Patterson has been very, very involved in the offense. Gets about 5 opportunities per set. She's been very quiet, and A&M's been passing pretty well. Oh, what a dig by Gomez. And down the line, Gomez can't make the play.
That is an unbelievable dig. And Skylar comes back, hits that ball, and that little seam, not really down the line. That is a tough ball to dig.
Nice change of pace for a freshman. Lauren Davis has got a pretty full bag of tricks. That was nicely done. Dug by Hands, opportunity back to Davis, off the edge of the block and out of bounds. Nice transition play by the Aggies.
And Texas needs to stay patient here, not get frustrated when a good team is going to dig you. They are fired up right now, and they're going to dig everything they can. Smart, smart swing off the edge of the block here.
And a nice block by who? Lauren Davis, once again doing it at both ends.
That set was a little bit tight, I would say. Skylar didn't have a lot of room. Skylar Fields did not have a lot of room to work with. But a smarter shot would have been off the block, trying to push it through, tip, instead of swinging right into it.
With a service error, Texas A&M continues to lead 14-12. If you're just joining us, it was all A&M early in the opening set, 10-5, 16-11, and then Texas closed out the opening set on a 15-8 run, won it 26-24. Holland Hands, as advertised, was the story for A&M. Talk about McKenna Patterson. Had 11 kills against Oklahoma. Does not have a kill yet so far. Nice play once again by Davis. Off the edge of the block and out of bounds. And she records her 8th kill.
I think A&M has been focused on, they know where their blockers are. They know Texas has excellent left side blockers in White and Eggleston as well. So forcing a lot more balls to the outside, back row, and outside, and using them just a little bit more to score.
Micaiah White turning line, dug by Connor. Hands absolutely unloading out of the backcourt. Do you go to her again in combination?
I would have.
Good hustle by Texas, but that ball put to the floor. And that swing in the middle of the rally by Holland Hands got them ahead in the point.
She thundered this ball. Claire Hahn came up with it. They kept that ball alive, but they were out of system, had to send a free ball over, and that's what happens when you put some heat on the ball, force the other team to send a free ball over. That's what you want to do.
Free ball coming to A&M again. Chance to extend their lead. And finally, out of the middle, McKenna Patterson, the 6'3" junior out of Phoenix, Arizona. And A&M on a 6-1 run.
Texas needs to steady out with their serve receive, steady out with their defense, so they can handle the ball and at least get a swing on it. At least get a swing on the pin.
Hahn and Roundsville now in surrounding Sydney Peterson, so Jared Elliott deciding to go with passing at all cost.
Smart move. They were having some trouble, both White and Eggleston, struggling a little bit getting that ball right to the setter, so you got to put people in that can do it.
Boy, that is just too easy for Gomez. Okay, jump serve with some velocity, but Gomez just claps her hands together, brushes off, just boom,
That's
perfect
right.
pass.
Yep. She
I mean, what else you got?
has a sip of coffee and then just passes the ball.
That was really good.
It was good.
I don't think Texas wants to be serving the libero for A&M many more times if they can avoid it. And Ashley Shook on the floor now. Shook missed several matches at the beginning of the season with a foot injury, and now she has come on to replace Jenna Gabriel at the setting position. A&M on top 19-13.
See if they can get a little change of pace, a little change of tempo in the setting position.
Voss going after White again. Good pass. Nice stab by Hahn. Both teams are really playing hard. That ball, it would look like the ball into the antenna, but it was a blocker into the antenna. And Bird Q knows how big that particular point was.
Did you see her face? She kind of winces a little bit. Her blocker goes up in her right hand. This fantastic defense on the Texas side. Blocker got a little aggressive and hit the antenna with her pinky.
That was freshman Tiana Rush on the outside. Perfect pass again. Perfect pass.
Yeah, I mean, Texas putting some heat on this serve, but they need to get away from Gomez. They need to do that so they get this team out of the system and not serving somebody else.
Haley Slocum now on to serve for the Aggies. They lead it by half a dozen. Well, that ball was pretty low and tight. Phillips had to get on her horse quickly and get to that slide.
She really did, and she hit it fast. She pulled the trigger fast. That's what I love about this. It wasn't the perfect tempo, but she was swinging as soon as her left foot got to that ball. Left foot, boom. That was a nice save by Molly Phillips.
The Texas coaches have been very, very complimentary of Ashley Shook. Lost her starting setting job last year after she was an honorable mention All-American as a freshman. They said she's been nothing but supportive of Jenna Gabriel. It was supposed to be a real battle, but that did not come to fruition because Shook was out with a foot injury early in the season, but the Texas coaches just love the way she has handled what would ordinarily be a very, very difficult situation.
Through it all, stayed patient, stayed as a fantastic teammate, has been helping Jenna Gabriel with what to do, helping her run the offense. It's been, what they say, a very healthy relationship. And that's what you want. That's what you want out of every player on their team.
Texas trailing 21-16 and now 22-16 as the service errors continue to add up. Texas now with 9 service errors, 1 ace. Texas A&M 7 service errors, but 5 aces. Texas A&M is hitting a cool 545 in the second set after hitting 114 in the first. And Hands rockets that ball out of bounds. No problem. You think she's got the green light?
I think she does.
Wow.
I think she's allowed to miss. But after that last miss and this late in the game, nothing's safe. So they had a huge lead earlier in the last set. So you're not really safe at 22-17. You got to make some plays.
Hands stuffed out of the back row. Micaiah White with another block. I think that's her third.
With an exclamation point. I mean, Hands swung as hard as she could, and Micaiah White was right where she needed to be. It's a fantastic read, little step move, pressed over to get that ball.
I like the play by A&M. It was just better defense by White and the Texas Longhorns. That's a pretty good play out of the middle and an aggressive set by Connor, number 18 in black for A&M.
A&M's looking to run middle, fast transition whenever they can, whenever in transition. Catching the Texas blockers just with their hands maybe a little bit low, not up and ready. And they're able to get some tools off the block and score right now.
A&M just 2 points away from evening this match at a set apiece. This stab by Hands, but well out of bounds. This would ordinarily be a very, very comfortable lead, but after what happened in the opening set, I don't think anybody cheering for A&M isn't in any way relaxed.
Nope.
Overpass and out of bounds. A&M take a timeout here,
It might give it another one. Might give it one more.
or maybe not.
Right. Dang it.
or maybe not. No, you got to take a timeout here. After what happened in the opening set, you have to eliminate as best you can the chances of Texas coming back. And while we've got a timeout, let's update you on some national storylines. Once again, the non-conference this year in college volleyball has been incredibly interesting and compelling. Some of the top teams playing against one another. Stanford takes out Nebraska and Lincoln 3-1. Florida State beat Minnesota early. That's a good match. And then this weekend over in Baylor, in Waco, 3 undefeated teams. Missouri at 17, Baylor at 5, and Hawaii at 13. All face off.
That's an exciting weekend of volleyball, I tell you what. And Baylor, I saw Baylor live a couple of times this year, and they are good. Isyana Presley is one of the most explosive and dynamic outside hitters I've seen. And so it's going to be interesting, but everyone's playing well right now.
Well, and after the loss to Rice on Wednesday night, Texas is not going to be number 3 when the polls come out next week.
They are not.
Look, the polls don't really matter right now. They matter in a couple of months. But Baylor, if Baylor beats Missouri and Hawaii, they'll be ranked higher than Texas for the first time since Texas became a state.
Ever.
Yeah.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
And good for the Baylor Bears.
That's right.
You know, they have done a phenomenal job building that program. And yes, Presley is superb. But you look at some of their numbers, you're not doing what they're doing with one player. They're a solid club. And as you saw them beat Wisconsin in Madison.
They were good and just balanced. It's a good team.
Stanford's pretty good too.
They're all
Texas went 5 with them in Palo Alto. Here is Claire Hahn. A&M leading 23-20. Perfect pass. And into the antenna, and now 23-21.
I'm a little surprised at that run, especially the last time they set a couple of slides in a row, and White's having a nice blocking night. See if they go away from here, go right back.
Gotta go to Davis on the outside. She's been really good so far, but comes up empty here. Wow, 23-22. A 6-1 run by the Longhorns.
Similar to what we saw in the first set. A couple of unforced errors by A&M.
Timeout is called by the Aggies. Texas A&M an 8-1 on the year. Texas at 5-2. Both teams looking forward to and getting ready for conference play. A&M starts next Tuesday at home against Alabama, and Texas will host Iowa State on Wednesday. We'll be here for that. If you're Texas A&M, I wanted to see Texas. They were starting to change their configuration and their rotation. They moved Davis over to the right side. Wanted to wait until they came out before I asked you where you might think they would go. They certainly have Holland Hands available in the backcourt as well.
They do, and if they end up splitting their hitters, they'll run just a high ball behind and maybe a 31 with the middle, maybe to open something up with Hands, or run something fast if they have a perfect pass in the middle. That's where they've been scoring as well. So,
well, you got to think psychologically, this is almost a must-win set situation for A&M after they gave up that 16-11 lead, falling to Texas 26-24 in the opening set. Micaiah White been pretty quiet here in the second. She had all those 6 kills in the first set. Been pretty efficient. Skylar Fields getting involved more offensively along with Eggleston. And yeah, Texas A&M does come out. They've split their hitters.
So Eric Sullivan standing up, telling them, he's saying, hey, they're split. They're going pin to pin. Telling the right side blockers, pinch in on 10 if she's hitting something quick. You don't have a left side hitter right now.
Good pass.
All three blockers are in the middle.
Dug by Roundsville. A chance for the tie. Ball set. Oh, look at that. Micaiah White got away with one. Texas A&M has really missed some opportunities late in this set.
And again, this is almost mirroring what happened the last set. A couple of unforced errors, some easy plays that they're not reading well, but a nice shot by Micaiah White. Now they stack the hitters back over here on the left side of the court.
Hands again, rips the ball through the seam, and it'll be set point number 1 for A&M. You think Hands is their go-to attacker?
I would say so. I get it.
She's already taken 25 swings, 12 kills.
That's a lot. She's young. She can handle it.
White inside the block and down.
This is a fantastic swing because she doesn't hit it as hard as she can. She gets on top of it, hits it about 50, 60%, but just chops the ball down in front of the defenders. Smart play.
Gomez gobbling that up, and then the cutback by McKenna Patterson out of the middle. Set point number 2 for the Aggies.
You know, what's hard about that jump serve, sometimes you can't control where it goes. You're just ripping it and going for it.
O'Neal on the slide and cannot be kept alive in the cross court by Connor.
That was a nice set by Shook. That's what they were looking to avoid. They wanted to serve that area of the court, so to force them to set the ball high and outside to Eggleston, but Shook did a nice job getting her the ball.
And down the line, but out of bounds. Set point for Texas. Tough serve by O'Neal, handled well by Gomez. And blocked by Texas. And Ashley Shook, who comes off the bench, replacing Jenna Gabriel. Salima leads the comeback, and Texas comes back big in the first set. They do it again in the second set. They're going to make Jared Elliott a very old coach very soon.
Without a doubt.
Another big comeback by the Texas Longhorns. Can Texas A&M regroup after giving up 2 big leads? They trail it 2-0. Welcome back to a sold-out Gregory Gymnasium for the Lone Star Showdown between Texas A&M and Texas, and a couple of nail-biters and big comebacks for the Texas Longhorns, but they lead it 2-0. Got a little bit of a break between the second and third, and if you've been watching and noticing what looks like clothes flying off among the student section, you're not alone. The Texas swim team is happy to bear it all, almost, to continue one of the many great Longhorn traditions.
The tradition is that the swim team gets invited by the volleyball coaches when there's big games to wear 24 articles of clothing and take off 1 article of clothing per point that they score.
It's kind of just a way to hype up the volleyball team and hype up the fans and the crowd so that, like, with each success, we take off another article of clothing all the way down to just wearing Speedos.
So it's pretty rare when it happens, but when it does happen, it's always pretty exciting. The swim team has been doing it for a long time. I think long-time volleyball fans have been experiencing it and seeing this at the big games for a long time, so I think they've come to expect it almost at those big games. It's because of how closed the environment is. It's super loud in there, and there's so much energy that everyone's just super excited every time. And as we're stripping, the whole crowd kind of sees it, and everyone's getting hyped up, not only because the team was winning, but because they get to see like 30 dudes also just run around in Speedos. When we're going crazy, everyone kind of feeds off of it. I think it's kind of a general energy boost for everybody.
It's very closed in, high energy. You can see everybody in the whole venue. It's going to be a great just synergy of all of us feeding off each other. Honestly, I think it'd be kind of fun to like make it like an unspoken competition to mesh with the Hellraisers and sort of like go back and forth between them and see who can be louder, who can be crazier, and just who can be the most supportive group on the court. It's just another opportunity to assert, you know, Texas Longhorn dominance. It's all one big Texas family, and I think that's what it's all about. Is everybody supporting everybody else.
Good fun, pretty unique tradition. Salima, you were paying very close attention during the course of that feature.
You know, I remember the first time I saw that, and I didn't really know what was going on, and I was very confused. My son was like, Mom, what's happening over there? So don't worry about it, don't worry about it.
Well, to recap, Texas on top, 2-0. They trailed 16-11 in the first, came back to win it 26-24. In the second, they trailed 17-12, close on an 11-3 run over A&M to win it 27-25. What a mountain to climb for Texas A&M. During the break, you could put your head down and think, you know what, we should be up 2-0, but they got to regroup. How tough is this for A&M?
There's more volleyball to be played. You know, I think the coaches will go in the locker room and say, guys, we're right there. And we're not just right there, we're in the lead. Just be patient, don't try to force too much right now.
Roundsville will start things off for Texas. And Holland Hands, who was almost perfect in the opening set, started to see some errors creeping in. She missed that one critical swing down the line.
And it's tough as any team. You learn about yourself. You learn how to close. How do you finish games? How do you finish matches? And that's what you learn in the non-conference, especially against excellent competition. They're going to learn a ton about themselves right now.
Hands had one hitting error in the opening set. She had 4 in the second. Ashley Shook, nice dig by Hands. And then through the block and down. And if you're Texas A&M, you're wondering, where was one of those swings?
What happened?
Late in one of those, either the first or second set, as Lauren Davis comes through with a kill.
Again, it's just a matter of learning late in the match. It's a different feel late in the match. Sometimes you just want to hang on to what you've got, and then you're doing different things. You have to just keep doing what you've been doing.
A kill by Davis keeps Hands on the service line. Nice touch by Gomez. Hands out of the backcourt. Dug by Shook right on top of the net. Dug by Shook again, but a net violation called against Micaiah White of Texas.
Oh, nice digs by Shook. She's back there just taking it.
And look at this. Texas has got Texas A&M right where they want them. A&M with another early lead. Hands has been so good. 13 kills, a couple of aces, 8 digs. Micaiah White through the block and down. White now with 9 kills on 15 swings, hitting over 500. Just one miscue so far on her resume. And again, struggled in the first 3 matches, hit 189, 365 against really top-level competition over the last 4. Shank pass. A net violation called against Fields, and she acknowledges it right away. Missed opportunity early for Fields in Texas.
And I know Jarrett right now is saying to them, hey, we got to come out and start out strong. We can't just be behind. We can't afford to do this in matches.
Davis again going off speed. Gomez is there to cover. Pretty smart shot up into the block. That was a good decision, but the Texas block just a little too stout.
Texas block doing a nice job of getting completely over the net and getting closed. You see this perfectly timed block by O'Neal in the right spot. And that's what they need to do moving forward.
8th stuff block for the Longhorns. Again, averaging only 2%, way off what they hope to be. But again, the absence of Breon Butler. I thought coming into the season that Butler was a top 5 middle blocker in the country.
I would agree with you on that. And it's like we talked about, the middles are doing a fantastic job, but she just takes them to another level. She is an elite blocker, an elite attacker, and can score so many points for Texas.
Good touch out of the middle by Patterson, number 10 in black. That is block number 6. Patterson has been a little more quiet than usual at the offensive end, but that was a nice block against Asia O'Neal on the slide. You don't see O'Neal slowed very often on that particular play. That ball hit out of bounds. Micaiah White asking for a touch. That ball ruled over the sideline. And Texas A&M goes out quickly once again, 7-2. And Jared Elliott thinking about challenging or calling a timeout, and he does. Coach Elliott has had to get off the bench early in each of the first 3 sets as A&M once again going out with a lead, but can they hold it against Texas?
Work.
The director of athletics at the University of Texas, Chris Del Conte. In spite of the fact that this is sold out, he has got a very, very good seat.
Oh, he does.
I guess we should expect that. I think he'll have a good seat at tomorrow's football game as well against Oklahoma State. What a fun job. Working in college athletics, that would be really fun. Micaiah White snapping over the top of the block and away from Gomez. Well, I mean, the theme of this match is, has it been A&M good early and Texas better late? Or what has been the theme here? It's been a hard match to wrap your hands around, because at worst, A&M should be even 1-1 so far in this match, in my opinion. 2 big leads in the opening set, but couldn't hold it. That ball's not down yet. O'Neal on the slide. It is now.
And that starts with a big serve that gets them out of system. Sends a free ball over, and they can run whatever they want. And again, this ball is so sharp. The slide that she hits is inside the block, almost at the 10-foot line. Hard to defend.
O'Neal now with half a dozen kills. Here is White. Hands is a good passer. And we haven't called the name of Treyana Rush very often. The 6'1" freshman out of Texarkana, a high school All-American, plays in the opposite position, at least in the front court. Her first kill.
You know, we talked to them a little bit earlier. They don't set her a ton. She's more of a blocking right side. That is her strength. She's out there to stop the left side attackers. Every once in a while, they want to throw it in there to her.
Good pass by White. I was just about to say A&M does not generate a good swing. I guess Holland Hands is pretty good, even if you set her 13 feet off the net.
I'm surprised at that play. There was a bit of a scramble coming from way off the net, but she just stands there. She stands there and step closes. She does a nice job of keeping that ball in front of her.
14 kills for Hands. Good reaction out of the middle by the blocker Patterson. Eggleston going off speed.
Smart play by Logan. This ball is off the net. She actually has to jump back a little bit at it. She takes her step closed and she leans back. Smart with the ball. She doesn't just go ahead and blast it. That's what the outside hitters need to do.
Texas hitting .348 so far on the night. And Texas A&M at .247. Ball set a little bit tight, but a nice play by Rush. Able to go off speed and get that ball to the floor, and A&M continues to lead it 10-5, exactly the same score in the opening set, which they led Texas and eventually gave up that lead and lost the opening set 26-24.
Now they're moving the ball around a little bit more. trying to spread the offense out and catch the blockers off.
Pretty good swing by Rush. High up into the block, and that ball slapped around and cannot be tracked down. Mallory Talbert got to do more with it for Texas A&M.
Pretty good heads-up play. A couple of tips at the net.
That was a lift, by the way. That was not the first contact, so Talbert kind of trying to track that down. But Texas got possession in the point in any case, and Ashley Shook, who came on the latter third of the second set for Jenna Gabriel, now back at the line. Shook to Fields off the top of Connor and out of bounds. Skylar Fields in her first year at Texas has been really good, averaging 2.6 kills per set, hitting .324. And look at the competition that Texas has played already. Minnesota, USC, Stanford. Guess we got to include Rice in there as well.
You do.
That is a nice swing by Rush, tracked down by Patterson. Peterson, excuse me. McKenna Patterson on the other side, and then blocked.
Some big defensive plays. Peterson's almost into the bench. Now she's right there by Jarrett. Huge block to finish. That's good volleyball on the Texas side.
The lead for A&M was 7-2 early. Now it's 10-8, and the Longhorns right back in it, and they're going to get another opportunity. What a swing by Hands. Wow. Wow.
That was
in a perfect spot. A lot of the Texas fans thought that ball might have been out of bounds. Right in front of the Texas bench. Another look.
That was a healthy swing right in the deep corner.
Right in front of the lines person. I think that ball was good. What an incredible swing. Oh, that ball's got to come up. Fields got away with one for Texas.
You know, it's interesting. They're making the big plays. A&M are making the big plays, and then it's the little plays off the block and the little.
They all count for one.
They do. They all count the same.
Nice play on the slide. Mallory Talbert, the 6'3" sophomore out of Montgomery, Texas, able to put that ball away.
They're not sending a ton of slides, but I like that they're mixing up the zones. A tight slide right behind the setter. This one's kind of between the setter and the antenna, forcing the left side blockers to move and make some choices.
And look who's at the service line. Nice play by Peterson. And Phillips trying to go up off the block and misses that one. And Hands will stay at the service line. Holland Hands is now the all-time leading scorer in the rally service era for Texas A&M, surpassing All-American middle blocker Jasmine Babers.
She was pretty good.
Just unloading that hybrid.
It's unbelievable.
And nicely done over the top of the block and down by Lauren Davis once again. Davis having a very, very nice match now with 11 kills for the freshman out of Florida. 14-9 is the lead for A&M. You know, you talk about the hybrid serve, supposed to save on fuel. She doesn't leave anything in the tank
really
on that.
doesn't.
Nothing. There is
matter.
nothing left in the tank. That's one of the best serves I've seen in college volleyball in quite some time.
Agreed.
Here's Peterson. On the slide again. Very nicely done and a good delivery by the setter, number 18, Camille Connor.
Continuing to move that ball around a little bit, not right behind the setter, a little bit further out to the pin, and it goes right by the block. They're trying some different zones on the court to mess up the Texas blockers.
Ball set a little bit tight, and once again tipped over the top of the block by the high flying White.
So hard to defend this. She is at the top of her reach, and from this angle, just tipping that ball straight down is very, very difficult to defend. And we talked about that earlier in the season. Coach Elliott wanted her to work on that. She's gotten better and better at it.
Well, if you're able to just sky right over the top of the block, you just throw it right into the middle of the court. One of the most vulnerable places defensively for any volleyball team. That is an unforced error. You have got to keep that ball in play. Coach Kuhn telling us at serve and pass earlier today how improved Camille Connor is with her technique and with her decision making, the setter for Texas A&M. And that will be pressured here. Good set to the outside. And a brilliant swing by White. Really good rhythm from Ashley Shook.
Really good rhythm, and it started with this perfect dig from Peterson. She has a great touch on this ball. Shook gets her feet there, and I love that. You're right, that rhythm is nice right now.
White now with 12 kills on 21, hitting .476. Hands out of the backcourt, dug tight. Shot by Shook over the top of the block and down. Really nice reaction by number 9 in White.
That is a nice play by a big setter. So big dig here going over the net. And Shook just reaches up high, forcing it into the corner. She knows. That's what I love about her. Her IQ, her volleyball IQ is so high. She knew no one was in that corner of the court.
4-0 run for Texas. And again. Timeout called by A&M. Texas on a 5-0 run comes all the way back in the third to tie this one at 15 apiece.
We started caring for
Texas Volleyball on Longhorn Network is presented by Wells Fargo. This is a commitment to better banking. This is Wells Fargo.
Welcome back to Gregory once again. It has been a very interesting night. Is that how you would describe it if you were sitting on the sideline? Look at this. Look at the deficit in the second set, 22-16, 15-10 here. And now we're tied at 15 all. And Claire Hahn has been solid, consistent from the service line. And this has been a really good rotation for the Texas Longhorns. They have now scored. Claire Hahn has served 18 times. Texas has scored 13 of those times. That is a remarkable percentage. And hands, misses it out of bounds. The run continues for the Longhorns.
So before those last two errors, I was going to say this set has been Texas actually earning these points. Texas has been earning these as opposed to the last two sets. A&M has given a few away, and now they're starting to give a few away.
Good pass, and Connor takes things into her own hands. And that ends a 7-0 run. And once again, that rotation, look, it's Claire Hahn's done a nice job serving, but it is again the players around her. Ashley Shook doing a good job. O'Neal and Micaiah White blocking up front.
There's a lot involved, not just the serve. There's so much involved in good rotations.
Peterson solid again in serve receive, leads to an easy side out for Asia O'Neal.
Rhythm is nice. Rhythm is nice right now. Fantastic pass by Peterson. Good rhythm set to O'Neal.
9 kills as evidenced by the good passing. Middle blockers, reliant players. You got to pass the ball and be in system to get a lot of numbers. Here's White. And rush off the edge and out of bounds. A critical kill for the highly regarded freshman wearing number 14 in black.
Nice tool. Ball's a little bit out of system. She doesn't swing as hard as she can into the block. She goes high, tools off the edge of the outside blocker's hand.
Good pass by White, and that is the third kill of the set for Ashley Shook.
Sometimes as a setter, you just kind of have to take over. And I like it. She's smart with what she's doing, though. She's seeing the block. She knows what she's doing. And she has come in and absolutely sparked the offense in every way, setting and on her own.
At 6'1", a little bit a bigger weapon at the net for Texas in that position. Hands into the block and off the cover and out of bounds. Texas leads it 20-17. How long ago was it when A&M led 7-2 again at the start of this third set? Wow. Overpass. And tipped to the floor by number 15, Phillips. And this one is getting away from the Aggies. They need a timeout. They're going to take one. A sellout crowd, officially of 4,328 on hand for this one. Salima, you talked about how good Micaiah White has been over the last 4 matches, hit 365. 100 points higher than that so far on the night.
That's incredible for an outside hitter. But her game is good right now. And she's hitting every area of the court. Hard cross court, deep, tipping over the top. But what I like about it is she's getting her feet to the ball. Her feet, she's lined up perfectly every time, so she's able to score. And again, looks calm, looks in control. And I think this team is feeling that. They're feeling that leadership that we talked about earlier.
Talk about the impact and the maturity of Ashley Shook, the 6'1" junior out of Plainfield, Illinois. Coming off the bench, dealing with a foot injury early in the season, and dealing with losing her starting setting position. That is really tough.
It's
really
very tough to do. It's very tough to do. And to do it, not just do it well, come in and play, but everything else involved. She is leading this team, helping the team. You see Gabriel on the side, cheering her on. Again, we talked about that relationship. So they're in a good place with their setters right now. Gabriel's been starting, doing a fantastic job, but now Shook came in and showing everybody that she's ready. She's back, and she looks completely healthy and ready to play.
Texas having a very nice night offensively, hitting 395, well above their season average of 320, and holding A&M to 223. Texas on an 11-2 run. Got to go to Hands here, absolutely. Off the edge of the block and down for Holland Hands. That is her 16th kill. Does Texas A&M have a comeback in them?
You never know. I guess we'll see. I guess we will see. And that's what they've been working on these last two sets.
Haley Slocum on to serve and misses that into the top of the tape. That was a big, crucial miss. Give Shook and Texas a little bit of separation at 22-18. Absolutely, Hands again, and oh, look at the play by Peterson. What an effort. Put that on the highlight reel, even if Texas lost the point.
That was unbelievable. I mean, she just changed direction so fast. I had no idea she was going to be able to get this ball.
That is just a phenomenal effort. 22-19. Eggleston through the block and down, and now Texas just 2 points away. Texas A&M, they were picked 6th in the SEC. They are not going to finish 6th in the SEC.
I wouldn't think so.
They have the potential to learn a lot from this and go on and battle the likes of Kentucky, Tennessee, Florida, Missouri, South Carolina, and others, and get the Aggies back in the, oh, look out. Almost a facial delivered by Holland Hands. And I was about to finish the thought, get Texas A&M back into the NCAA tournament.
I think that was a facial, actually.
Oh, wow. Well, if you're not getting hit, you're not playing defense.
I guess so.
23-20. Holland Hands at the service line, already with a couple of aces. If anybody can spark a comeback for A&M, it is number 9. Good pass by Peterson. Davis off the edge of the block and down, and Lauren Davis, the 6'4" freshman, continues to have a really good night for the Aggies.
That was a big dig by number 3 for A&M down the line.
That's Carly Basham coming in to play defense in position number 1. Peterson has been nails in serve reception. Oh, that ball came. The little things, that ball deflected and just no one there to follow up for the Aggies. Very lucky here for Texas.
Shook was right on the net, and that's because Peterson handled that jump serve. Handled it without a question.
And Basham, number 3, had a chance to make a play on that and just was blocked out. Peterson, match point number 1. The crowd, a 4,000 plus strong collective groan. Match point number 2. White for the win. Gomez with a dig. And Davis into the top of the tape, and that'll do it. Very, very interesting storyline indeed. Texas trailed big in each of the 3 sets tonight, but somehow found a way to not lose confidence, not lose hope, and they could have after they were upset on Wednesday night down in Houston. But it turns out, when people look at the score and if they see 3-0, that won't tell the story of this match tonight.
Not at all. Texas A&M played so well for 2/3 of every set, 3/4 of every set. Solid volleyball. Texas did a fantastic job closing each set, coming back and winning.
So Texas wins it 3-0, thanks to the swim team and a 15-7 run to close out the 3rd set. We'll be back on the other side. We'll have a visit with Texas head coach Jared Elliott. The Longhorns win it 3-0.
Get excited, Whataburger fans.
Sellout crowd here at Gregory Gym headed for the exits, and they got their fill. Maybe it was only 3 sets, but talk about dramatic comebacks, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Paul Sunderland back with Salima Rockwell, and now our very special guest, Texas head coach Jared Elliott. Have you ever been through a match like this, Coach? I mean, you've been at it a long time, but I gave you the runs during the commercial break. I mean, that was pretty incredible.
Yeah, right meow. I'm feeling pretty good about myself, so get through it. So
way to be the architect of 3 huge set comebacks.
Yeah, we took a tough loss on Wednesday night, and this is a young team, so I think they were a little fragile coming into this, and I'm just pleased that the way that we've been really good at just kind of battling all the way through matches. We haven't been great all preseason during certain points of certain games, but our composure's been good, and they just kind of go about it like a workman's business, and there's no panic, and I like that side of this team.
So Jared, what are the biggest things you learned from Wednesday night and tonight moving forward as you head into the rest of your play?
Well, I think Wednesday night our team got a grasp of what it's like to go on the road and play in a hostile environment, and in the state of Texas, when it's a national championship match to play us, and they played out of their minds in the first 2 games. They were over 75% side out, and there's a lot of good players in this country, and they worked hard to get that win against us. So and now it's just getting back to it's been a really good preseason for us. That loss on Wednesday hurt us a little bit, but you know, it's been really hard to get back in the gym and train. The way that our schedule's been, we haven't had a whole lot of days. It's either been a rest day, it's been a short practice. We haven't been able to add a lot of things, and I think this is the tail end. This will be the first 2 days off since August 10th.
Are you hopeful to get Breon Butler back in the lineup at any time soon?
Yeah, you know, I think she's getting closer. She's hitting some balls in warm-up. You know, it could be a week or two, but you know, we're able to get her in here. I think that's going to help us out tremendously. You know, it's offensively, we got some weapons. Some teams are trying to scheme against us, obviously, with our personnel that we have in here in transition game, and so we need to get her back in there. We can get a little bit bigger with our potential 6'2" at times, and look at some things defensively. You know, the biggest thing is, can we get better defensively? I think we'll get a rhythm going. You saw, you know, Asia starting to perform at a pretty high level. I told you guys that I thought by October, November, she'd start really hitting the groove. And, you know, we get our middles involved, we get Skylar going, and play a little defense. This team can be a lot better.
And speaking of getting back in the lineup, how impressed were you with the performance of Ashley Shook tonight?
I'm just so proud of her. And, you know, this has been a hard time for her. She came in and was having a good preseason, sprained her ankle, and, you know, Jenna was doing a nice job. And, you know, we need some size, obviously, and she gave us that, and we were able to kind of slow down the left side hitters a little bit more. But more importantly, this is a huge step for her confidence-wise to kind of get in there, because it's been a while since she's been during a regular season game playing, and I'm just proud of her, and she's been a great teammate to everybody, and I think there's a lot of people happy for her right now.
So Jared, talk to us a little bit about Chaos. She started off the season a little bit slower, and she's really heated up in the last few matches. So talk to us about her maybe evolution over this non-conference play.
You know, I think she was putting a lot of pressure on herself early in the season to kind of just, you know, be the best player she can be. You know, she was the Big 12 Player of the Year. She obviously wants to repeat that. And she was putting some pressure on herself, I think, early on. And, you know, we told her to relax after week one. It's only week one. And so she's just kind of been workmanlike. Obviously, us getting the middles a little bit more involved will help her get some seams. But she's starting to have some really good range. You know, I thought, you know, the key to this was when teams are starting to release on us, we got to make sure at least we're setting balls inside to give her some range and make it difficult for the teams to set up their defense. So her attack selection is getting a lot better.
Coach, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Sellout crowd tonight at Gregory once again, and Texas pulled off once again nearly a handful of comebacks as they win it 3-0 over their arch rival Texas A&M. We'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for staying with us. We're back to wrap things up here at Gregory Gym. Texas player Skylar Fields signing some autographs. Number 3 Texas on top of Texas A&M 3-0. We showed you some partial scores, and now we can give you the final. The Pitt Panthers beat the Nittany Lions of Penn State 3-0. That is the first win for Pittsburgh over Penn State since 1980. So Pittsburgh is for real. They remain undefeated, and Baylor is going to be moving up as well, maybe on top of Texas in the national rankings after Texas lost on Wednesday at Rice. Baylor beat previously undefeated and 17th ranked Missouri 3-0. So a very interesting non-conference continues. Back with Selima Rockwell. I'm Paul Sunderland. We talked a lot about Micaiah White and what she had done in the first handful of matches when she hit 189. Then she goes up to 365. Well, she only hit 4. I did the math. She hit 458 tonight. So let's talk about her, look at some of her highlights, and if she keeps playing like this, she is going to be a favorite for Big 12 Player of the Year again.
She is, and we talked about this earlier. She's just playing with more poise and IQ. You know, she's playing smarter, hitting the ball in good spots on the court. And I think, you know, what Coach Elliott said, you know, she's just playing with more confidence. She stopped putting so much pressure on herself to be great.
And Logan Eggleston, her bookend at the outside hitting position, had 10 kills on 23 swings for a very solid percentage as well, well over 300.
You know, and it was a quiet, it seemed like it was a kind of a quiet night for her. They took her out of the back row a little bit, so we didn't see it as much, but she hit for excellent numbers this evening, 10 kills on the evening. So this dynamic duo of Micaiah White and Logan Eggleston, as we said early in the season, are 2 of the best outside hitters in the country.
Well, and I thought Coach Elliott, when we had a chance to talk to him, made a very interesting point about the development of Asia O'Neal. She sat out last year, as Breon Butler did her first year, and Asia O'Neal's really coming on, and it's not just offensively, it's defensively as well, and Breon Butler maybe getting back in the lineup as well, as the Texas Longhorns look forward to conference play.
What I like about O'Neal, her connection with Gabriel and with Shook is good right now. So her speed and her timing has been consistent on that slide. That's what I'm noticing, where she's able to score.
Well, Asia O'Neal, as you know, is a former setter. Some hitters have a porthole. They have a window about this big. This big, can you see that? Asia O'Neal's window is like the picture window in your house up on the hills.
So nice.
Yeah, very easy to set. But let's look forward. Texas has gone through the non-conference. It didn't go exactly as planned. It looked like it was going to, because they had wins over USC and Minnesota. They almost got #1 and defending champion Stanford out in Palo Alto, succumbed in 5 sets. Everything's rolling along, bump in the road against Rice. But now you get into conference play, and now you really have your antenna up and your attention paid, because Baylor has really said, hey, here we are. We're ready to challenge Texas, at least this year.
You do, and what Texas is learning, and they know this, that everyone's going to play their best match against Texas. So they cannot take a break in this conference. Losing to Rice is a very good team, but that's a tough loss, and they have to take care of the rest of their schedule. And I'm sure what Coach Elliott's going to talk to his team about is we have to start stronger than we did tonight in every set, because we can't afford to let these scores get away from us. So looking ahead, they need to take each match, one match at a time, and every single match is as important as the next.
There you see the upcoming schedule. Iowa State, always a very, very solid program. We'll have that for you on LHN. That's Wednesday. And then the Saturday following, it'll be Texas Tech, an improving program in the Big 12 Conference. TCU is a team on the rise. They've had some injury issues. And then Oklahoma as well, also on LHN. You get right into conference play, and the atmosphere and importance changes. And, you know, we talked about the loss to Rice. How impactful was that? And what does Texas have to do in the conference, once again, to stay in the conversation for a top 4 seed?
They have to prepare for every match.
Do they have to win every match?
They do have to win.
They have to sweep the rest of the season.
I really think they could lose to Baylor. I think they could split with Baylor.
Okay.
And still be in good shape, because Baylor is a very good team. We talked about them earlier, and they won tonight.
Yep.
They're going to continue to beat teams, and
they've got Hawaii on Sunday.
Correct, and that's what's important with the RPI. So for Texas to keep that seed, that's what they want. They want that top 4 seed. They have to win all of their matches.
So if Texas sweeps the Big 12 Conference, they will be a top 4 seed.
I would think so.
You think so?
I would say so.
Okay.
I would say so, yes.
I agree with you. I agree with you. There you see the current overall standings, if you will. Of course, this is all reflective of the non-conference. And Baylor, once again, right there. For a number of years, it was Kansas, and now it looks like Baylor, the Bears, might be standing in the way of the Texas Longhorns. If you're a Baylor fan, it's the other way around. So either way, Big 12 Conference, trying to get, everybody efforting to get a little bit stronger, and Baylor has certainly done their part over the last several years.
They have, and what I've seen from them this year so far is they are poised and ready to play with anybody. And what I liked about their level of play was they were confident and calm, and just kept things under control when they were playing Wisconsin, and that was impressive to me. They're not just talented, they're well coached, they have athletic ability, they have talent, and they're pretty confident. So, you know, that's a pretty deadly combination. So Texas is going to have their hands full, and they need to be prepared.
And again, I had the conversation with Breon Butler before the match tonight, and we didn't talk specifically about her injury, but did talk about the fact that she, as Coach Elliott told us, expects her to be back in the lineup soon. And Texas's blocking and team defense has not been where they want it to be in terms of sheer numbers. It will change when Breon Butler gets back in the lineup.
It absolutely will. And when we talked to Coach Elliott earlier, he said we expect our numbers to be better, and that was because of her experience in the summer with the USA teams and how she just got exponentially better over the months. And he was so excited coming into this preseason about their blocking. So when she returns, I would expect the numbers to slowly rise, and they'll be where he wants them to be.
So a good bounce back for the University of Texas. They are 17-1 following a loss since 2013, and congratulations to Texas A&M. They gave their rival, the Longhorns, everything they wanted, but they fall 3-0. For Salima Rockwell, I'm Paul Sunderland saying good night from Austin. Texas volleyball is back on LHN against Iowa State on Wednesday at 7 Central. Texas football press conference is coming up next. Good night, everybody.